In this episode of Mighty Car Mods, we check out the modified car scene in LA. LA is home to almost 4 million people and has a globally recognised modified car scene that's been made famous in countless movies, TV shows and computer games. Street racing, imports, muscle cars and a huge police presence. LA really does feel like it's in fast forward, and there's a staggering amount of variety in the various car scenes here. So what is the scene in LA all about? On first impressions, it's big, bold and fast, but we're here to delve deeper and find out exactly what it is that makes the LA car scene tick. We've got our hands on this, a Camaro, and we're going to hit the road and get a feel for the city and meet up with a range of people from the modified car scene to get the lowdown on owning and modifying a car in one of the world's fastest cities.
Well, I mean, I think we're kind of the hub of everything there is cars. I mean, you have your lowriders, you have your fitment cars, you have your track cars, you have your flashback to 95 cars. You know, everything looks like it's from, you know, AutoZone and stuff. But I mean, everyone kind of has that same passion. And then the muscle cars, don't get me wrong with that. Like that's my real love. I can't afford the gas and what it costs to restore one of those things.
In the LA County, the thing is these days, it's mainly all stents. You know, you see cars laying frame, huge wheels, huge tires, even actually huge wheels with tires that will nearly impossible fit it. It seems like that's just what's in now.
Everyone is buying one thing is suspension. So they're coilovers or bags. Second thing they're doing is fitted wheels. They're trying to go as low as possible, wide as possible with the thinnest amount of tire possible. And that's the main goal for most of the people that come in.
You want to be the lowest, you want to be the nicest, you want your car to stand out. It's like one of those things, if your car scrapes and there's a whole crowd, you know, watching your car scrape, it's like, oh damn, look how low his car is. Yeah, there's a street cred, but I mean, it's fine. It's just, on the other hand, I like the bumpers on my car. I don't want to rip them off.
The thing is, anything that's popular in Japan, it doesn't hit America until maybe 2-3 years later.
Well, the one thing I know for sure is the lowrider community, hydraulics and stuff like that. That's the only thing I can tell you for sure came from here and went to Japan. The other way over, we just really went crazy with whatever they gave us, whether it was the track scene or the stunt scene.
It's more people want to be unique. They don't want the same cookie cutter car. They don't want the same thing. They want somebody to look like, oh, that's different, that's cool, that's awesome. And that's what people want.
Because everyone has their own style, or there's still a lot of people driving cars that are a work in progress.
They want to be noticed. They want to have like, hey, I'm an individual, and this is me showing I'm an individual.
Well, you got your people that absolutely hate imports and Japanese cars, but then to the people that actually understand, you know, the whole, I guess, the whole tuning crowd, the Japanese crowd, and how they're such perfectionists with everything that they do, you're able to, you know, I guess, get a hold of that.
What's trending currently in LA for import cars or just modified vehicles in general, hood vents, aero, bagged cars, coilovers.
Right now, image is heavy, so you can do the hella flush thing, wheels, offset, fitment and everything, you know, that little or no gap stretch tire, you know, that stuff will earn you a little cred.
Over here, it's like, you know, let's see how low you can get, how wide you can get, how stretched your tires can get, how loud and how much horsepower you can get. Everyone's just pushing that boundary a little bit more day by day. And I mean, there's some cars that, you know, you'd think they're bagged, but they're just rolling around on coilovers and they're just destroying the undertray of their car. And it's just insane to see that, like, just sparks flying everywhere, straight piped, you know, sometimes no exhaust because the car is too low to have one.
There's different types of, I think, lowering a car. There's stands, there's the battle stands. There's cars with like major camber, which kind of look like that.
But obviously there's other groups where that isn't cool, so you want to do the whole like fancy aero, nice suspension, good hella functional fitment, you know, where you could actually drive your car.
Seeing people pull up to speed bumps and having to throw their hazards on and flip around, it's crazy.
The stance guys just want to go park and like look cool, whereas the track guys will go to the track and kind of hang out with each other, and they kind of click, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to for a guy with a track-oriented 350Z to hang out with a stanced-out 350Z. They can't get into a parking lot. They can't do anything on the track. They just don't hang out well.
Big wings, like giant. Like normally, I guess there's like a rule, it shouldn't exceed your roof, basically, but they're exceeding that. It's like, oh my God.
And then there's, you know, pretty much anything from a muscle car situation down to I just modded it because this is what I own.
I've always been into cars since I was a kid. Since high school, I was handed down my dad's 80s Celica and started looking more into the car and kind of started building it up from there. It's a 1992 Toyota Cressida. It has a 97 or so Toyota Chaser front end. It's powered by a Toyota Aristo 2JZ GTE VVTi motor. Bigger injectors, you know, the usual, I guess. Drivetrain alone, I think I spent just a bit under 20,000.
I drive a Nissan President G50. Currently a project car. Doesn't look the prettiest, but that's, you know, it's my car, so I don't really care what other people think.
My car, it's a 94 Toyota Supra Mark IV. I bought it when it was nothing. It was horrible bodywork done to it. It was non-turbo motor. Transmission was all messed up. Everything was just completely junk. I scrolled on it through Auto Trader, seen potential in it one day, picked it up. 3 years later, here I am today. It's a completely different car. I love the attention. Sometimes I get unwanted attention, you know, from police or anything, but I'm real cool about it. I definitely keep it safe on the road. Other than that, it's pretty much a fun life to live when you drive a car like that.
It's an FRS. I've been building it for the past couple years. Actually was version 1 Rocket Bunny, went to version 2. That was a headache in itself with, you know, the holes and all that on it. You know, I've had different wheel setups, different colors. I mean, you name it, I've completely stripped the car down and rebuilt it. And it's boosted, it's so low I can't even make it in the driveway to this interview here. It's actually parked on the side of the street. So I actually have to approach it. I have to like swing out, go at a crazy angle. It's just terrible. But, and it's loud enough to wake the dead, but I love it.
While there's a thriving modified car scene here in LA, Japanese imports are extremely expensive, and some have even been made illegal by the government.
Like a Japanese car, an Integra Type R, you're looking about $35,000 for a clean, mint, actual imported right-hand drive one. An S15, you're looking about $50,000, $60,000. A Skyline, I don't even want to think about it. Like it's enough to make you reconsider.
R33 are illegal, R34s are illegal.
If you bring in like an R34, they'll crush that thing.
The main reason there's no Skylines is because there was a gray market business before all of this, and they were illegally rebinning Skylines without paying the government's fees.
And they did a lot of illegal things to get them here. So they assume everything associated to the R34 now is illegal. And it just has a huge negative connotation now just with the car.
But yeah, an R34, man, when you see one on California streets, it's unreal.
They got all of their Skylines seized, and anyone who ever purchased a vehicle from them got tracked down and got their car seized as well. That means it was crushed, it was destroyed, everything.
As far as street cred goes, by far an R34 over the R35. R35, you see them all the time at shows. You see them at tracks. You see them on the street. I've seen 3 already today, actually. It's not really something that, you know, catches my eye anymore, but an R34.
Let's say like a GT2 with a RB25 Neo motor. If it was registered, it'd probably be worth about like 50 to 60,000.
I mean, I've seen a blue one on the freeway. I've seen a white one, and that's it. And the white one was like 3 or 4 years ago. I still remember the street it was on in Ontario. The blue one, it was on the 10 freeway on my way to school about 2 years ago. And other than that, I mean, like you just don't see them. It's so rare. It's like a unicorn.
Also as rare as a unicorn is how often the cars have to be safety checked. In Australia, it's usually every 12 months, but there's a very different system here in LA.
So in Australia, you have to get all your vehicles safety checked. We don't do any of that here. We don't check the tires, we don't have to check exhaust, check how low your car is. I don't know how you live with those type of laws.
What they do have to live with, though, is very strict laws relating to smog, which is why almost every third car we've seen is a Prius.
Smog has to do with the emissions of the vehicle. You know, pretty much everyone in the car scene, they want to add an exhaust to their car, they want to add an intake, they want to throw, you know, big mods into their car. One of the main things that pushes back most of the people in the car scene is smog.
It limits guys like us from buying cool parts for our car that actually make them run better, as opposed to actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is stop people from making their cars more pollutant.
The only way to get through it, you know, either you would have to, you know, pay someone to pass it for you. If you know someone real close to you, they can do it. But it's definitely a risk.
Do Australia police officers carry measuring tape with them?
It takes a really big toll on the car scene. When you really want to modify your car, you have all this money, your car has this much potential, but you kind of like back away from it because you don't want to run into smog. Also because they are starting to do smog checkpoints now, where they will check your car on the spot.
Unless you do something stupid and you get a ticket by highway patrol. Around here, CHP is everyone's worst nightmare, because if you get caught racing, or even if you get pulled over, you get state revved, you have to take your vehicle now to get fully inspected, pay some tickets, get all that, you know, done. There's a lot of court fees, a lot of time wasted.
In LA, if you're caught speeding, if you're lucky, you'll just get a speeding ticket. But in some cases, your car will get impounded or your car will get crushed.
Most of the guys won't run anything on the street. It's just too much trouble. You hit things, hit people, you know, it's too much of a liability. They'll save it for the track. The canyons is the only place people will run, and everybody knows what you go up there to go do. You know, you'll run into bikes, you'll run into, you know, Jay Leno, you'll run into crazy people. You wouldn't even imagine who hangs out up there.
If you have like a illegally swapped motor, like a SR20, RB25, RB20 in your vehicle, most people that I know pull out their motors, put back their stock motor, get that checked, or if they don't want to deal with it, sell your vehicle and call it done. Mighty Car Mods was coming to LA. Do you think that right? Mighty Car Mods coming to LA.
Mighty Car Mods, they do have definitely a big rep in LA.
That was a little crazy. We're like, oh my God, we dropped everything we're doing. Dropped our tools, dropped our wrenches.
So we're on our way to the Mighty Car Mods meet in LA, but the place that we'd organised to have them meet, the police have shut down before the meet even begun because someone did a burnout.
That's right, that's what you do at a meet if you're a dickhead.
So we do have a plan B, which is the location that we're heading to now, and we're about 5 minutes away. We don't know if there's going to be one car there or 100 cars, we don't know.
This yellow Camaro SS pulls up and Marty and Moog just pops out of the car.
I was like, this is exactly what I expected at the same time. It's just the turnout was amazing.
And the crowd literally just runs to them.
One word, hectic. That's how crazy it was.
What are we signing? Here you go, man. Hey, man, how you doing? There you go.
Nissan keys.
I'm missing keys. I'll definitely sign those. There you go, man.
This one keychain. Marty.
Yes.
We got it.
All right, I got it. Straight to eBay. Inside, okay.
Got that.
Hey, there's more MX-5s than... More MX-5s, did you say? Yeah. Sorry, I thought you had something good to say. You got one?
Yeah.
Brad. There you go. Who's sticking my holder? Sounds weird.
Hey, Nando, get in here.
Picture real fast.
You don't have to reach too far down.
There you go, man.
They were surrounded by fans. They couldn't even walk anywhere. Thank
Did
you.
that work? Alright, thanks for coming down. The robots are coming.
You signed my shifter for my Miata. It's an MX-5.
Across the face. Across the face? Yeah. Really? No, that's your driver's license. I don't care. Sorry. You can get a new one.
I'll get a new license.
First thing I see was a whole crowd of people, you know, waving their hands in the air, screaming, cheering on for the guys in Mighty Car Mods. And I'm not gonna lie, I was doing the same, you know, like the guys are awesome.
Just people were like, right when you got out of the car, swarms on you. You had at least 1,000 people around your vehicle. You guys couldn't even move. That's how crazy it was.
Can you sign this one? I actually love the Die Hard too, man. I need your signature one more.
Thank you so much. I got your card. Yeah.
Marty, can you sign this one? You're the best ever, man.
Sign the Panda.
Moog, please. Sign my
love your
shirt.
album.
For coming out to Cali.
Thank you, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming down.
Stickers.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Marty, I love when you
we
say
do
man.
need to move it on.
Want a ginger beer?
Yes, yes, I do. I want a root beer.
Find you one.
A ginger beer and a root beer.
All right,
All right. Let's go chat with the cops.
And the cops showed up. Luckily, no one got arrested. So Marty and Moog, they had to speak with the officers. I don't even know how many officers there were, maybe about 10, 20. They probably brought the whole squad over, maybe about 10 vehicles. Had some dogs barking too, right? Were those little police dogs? Those are feisty. Don't want to mess with those.
And under the instructions and escort from the police, it was time for us to leave.
The whole perspective behind Mighty Car Mods and why it's so big, especially in LA, nobody does what the guys do at Mighty Car Mods.
I mean, if you're a car guy, you're already a fan of doing your own kind of work.
They want to learn how to do this on their car. They need help.
Well, I mean, it's the working class. Like for me, I sell phones in a mall.
Sometimes people don't have money to pay someone to do that.
They want to at least try. They want to, they want to save money. They want to at least give it a shot. How can you say you built a car when you never touched it?
So when you have a video on how to install a turbo or how to install brakes, it kind of makes it a lot easier, especially since it's entertaining.
My budget, between, work, school, bills and all that, I have such a fine little bit of money to spend, but I'm willing to, eat ramen and all that stuff just so that I can get that next mod.
They've helped me build my car. There's been times where I've been stuck and I just go look on YouTube channel real quick and there it is. So I can see why everybody is such a big fan of the guys, Marty and Moog. They're really, really good guys and they know their stuff.
The fact that, hey, they want to build their own car, they want to be a piece of their own car, they want to show that they put the blood, sweat, tears, there's so much effort into it.
It's definitely like a friendly way and awesome way to know how to work on your car and enjoy entertainment at the same time.
You guys not only have the videos of do-it-yourself, but you also show what shit happens. If something happens, you mess up, you show it, and you guys put humor into it, and that's what makes it funny.
And if you have a program like yours that enables you to empowers you to attack projects that you wouldn't normally go after.
Life is too short to drive a boring car.
If anyone knows what it's like to love cars, I mean, they can understand.
Everyone comes together for one purpose, and it's to mod cars.
The LA car scene is bold, brash, and unapologetic. Everyone is pushing their cars to be stronger, louder, lower, and faster. And even in the face of law enforcement, criticism in the media, and controversial government policies, the people of LA continue to push the boundaries of what they can achieve with the cars and themselves. So what is the car scene all about in LA? Well, it really is as simple as this. Life is too short to drive a boring car.